Good morning. I'm going to talk about kinematics, uh, MRU, and freefall. Well, first, kinematics is the branch of classical mechanics that describes the motion of points, objects, and systems of groups of objects without reference to the causes of motion. The study of kinematics is often referred to the geometry of motion. To describe motion, kinematics studies the trajectories of points, lines, and other geometric objects, as well as their differential properties such as velocity, acceleration, whatever. Kinematics is used in astrophysics to describe the motion of celestial bodies and systems, and in mechanical engineering, we have the robotic and biomechanic to describe motion of systems composed of joint parts like an engine, a robotic arm, or the skeleton of the human body. The Newton's first law can be used to explain the movement of objects traveling with uniform motion. In this part, we are talking about movement of objects of MRU. Well, if object is traveling with a uniform motion, it is moving in a straight line at constant speed. For example, when a car travels in a constant speed in a highway. The driving force from the engine is balanced by the resistive forces such as air resistance is in this way, velocity is in this way, and gravity. Um, and frictional forces in the car's moving parts. The resultant force on the car is zero. Other examples include a runner at their top speed experiences the same air resistance as their thrust. An object falling at terminal velocity experiences the same air resistance at its weight. There's three variables intervened in the uniform rectilinear motion: the position, the speed, and the time. In the position we have the begins to move, the initial position, and in the speed, it will always be constant in this case, and the time instant in which of the object begins to move, we have this variable. Well, the one some examples are the movements of hands of a watch, the rotation and revolution to the earth, the movement on the blades of a ceiling fan, etc. Some examples we are going to talk about here in free fall. Some examples of free fall could be the spacecraft in continuous orbit in the Earth. The free fall would be end once the propulsion device turned on. A stone dropped an empty wall, an object in projectile motion in descendant. Free fall is an emotion of a body where gravity is the only force acting upon it. What does it mean? It means that the gravity is the only force that is going to act in, no one else. In the context of general relativity, where gravitation is reduced to a space-time curvature, a body in free fall has no force acting on it. And the most remarkable and unexpected fact about falling objects is that fire resistance and friction are negligible. Then, in a given location, objects fall toward the center of the Earth with the same constant acceleration independent of their mass. This experimentally determined that fact is unexpected because we are so accustomed to the effects of air resistance and friction that we expect live objects to fall slower. Well, here we have two formulas. The first I'm gonna show you is the kinematics, which is one, and in free fall we have this one. I don't know if you can see clear. Well, and that's it. Thanks for your attention.